Hello everybody, I will be using this flour sifter. I got this from a thrift store. I will apply Mod Podge. The reason why I'm going to do that because I'm going to glue a scrapbook paper onto there. And aside from that, the paint will adhere better with the Mod Podge. I love using Mod Podge as the primer for any metal surfaces, metal materials that I have. Then now I'm starting to glue the scrapbook paper. The reason why I'm doing that is because this has some words there, some message there on that is kind of embossed or something. So I really don't like it. I don't want it to show. So that's the reason why I covered it with the scrapbook paper. Once this is dry, I will now start painting this with the Waverly Ivory. And I will be doing a dabbing motion onto there using a foam brush. So now it totally covers the spaces there in between the scrapbook paper. And I really love the finish of this. So that is how I cover something like galvanized with an embossed message there. I will be using this piece of napkin. This is decorative napkin with bird houses. I got this also from online. I will just dip in the water a very thin paintbrush and dab it onto the areas I don't want so that it will be easy for me to tear it. So you can see on the video, it's really very easy for me to tear the sides. I love how this craft turned out, and I hope you're gonna make your own as well because this is such a pretty craft. There's a lot of flour sifters in thrift shops, and I just thought of making something like this. I will apply Mod Podge onto there, very thin and very even because I don't want any wrinkles or lumps on the napkin I'm going to put there, and slowly I will decoupage this napkin, and as you can see, I'm tapping it with my fingers to flatten or smoothen the napkin. So I'm very careful not to tear the napkin, and I'll do the same thing onto this side as well, especially there is that crank there that is showing, so I have to be careful that it is also be covered with the napkin. So once finished and dry, I already dried it, I will use this gator sander and sand the excess napkin. It really turned out so pretty, and now I will start to just smooth the napkin using parchment paper. It has to be that the napkin is already dry before I'm going to do this so that the napkin will not stick. If it's wet, it will stick onto the parchment paper. Once done, I will use Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel. This is now how I'm going to make it look old and distressed. I will be doing dry brushing here by dabbing the paint onto there using a foam brush. So it really turned out very, very pretty, and I really love how it came out. I hope you love this as well. And I'm doing the same thing also onto the sides and the back of this. And I'm painting this as well, the handle. I'm painting it with the Burnt Umber. And then I will highlight this with a Pueblo by Folk Art to make it look distressed. I'm rustic. That is how simple it is to make it look rustic. I just highlight it with a Pueblo by Folk Art, especially if the paint, the Burnt Umber is still wet. It's easy to highlight it. You can see it's rustic already. And this, to be able to really stick onto the metal, what I will do here is I'm going to apply the Mod Podge after that. And you can see I am painting the crank as well, painting it with the burnt umber. This is such a lovely craft. I just found this in a thrift store, actually, this flour sifter, and I said to myself, I am going to make a craft out of this. Now, this is what I've mentioned earlier. I will apply ample amount of Mod Podge onto the areas that I made it look rustic. And then I'm going to set the heat tool into high heat. And that will be the time I'm going to dry this. And it will have a reaction like it will blister. And that is the reaction that I really would want. And you can see it really looks so rustic now. And I am now dabbing the paint as well, the burnt umber, onto there to make it look old. So that is how I'm making it. It's really very simple, and I want this really totally old looking. I am into vintage craft, so I love it. So everything here is optional, everybody. If you don't like distressed look, skip this process. And you can even use your own paint, and you can even use your own decorative napkin. I'm just showing you how I made it, so just to give an idea. I have this piece of cardboard. I'll fold it, and I will put this in between the round thing there inside, which is connected to the crank, so that the crank will not move. And I glued it. Just like that, I'm showing you. And then I have this piece of round cloth. I am going to glue this inside. The reason why I'm going to do that because I don't want the floral foam to show on the bottom of this, and I will show to you after this. See, that is what I meant because I did not paint it. I have this piece of birdhouse. It's too small. I got this from a thrift shop. I painted it already with the burnt umber. Then once dry, I dab the tea light candle onto there, and now I am painting it with a Waverly agave on the roof and Waverly ivory on the birdhouse itself. Then after this, I will dry it. I am using this very small eyeshadow brush. Then I am using this scouring pad. I will now start to make this look chippy by scrubbing it or rubbing it a little bit. And you can see it turned out very distressed already and chippy. I love how it turned out. It looks like the same color with the birdhouse on the napkin. Now I will put that bird and a little bird on the crank. So if you like this craft, everybody, please go to my main page. Please click the like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to give me a follow so you will be notified when I go live and you will be updated with my future reels and craft. Very economical kind of craft, everybody. I just got it from a thrift shop. I'm sorry. And it turned out so pretty. It's like a birdhouse. Thank you all so much, everybody. That's the finished craft. I hope you love watching this and you're going to make your own as well. Thank you, and till next time, friends.